Dr. Breakfast, thank you very much indeed for sticking around. I just want to talk about the EFF's political approach. I was just asking you, you would agree, it's tough to capture the imagination of an ever-changing electorate here in South Africa. I want to get a sense of how would you describe the EFF's efforts in trying to do just that from what you just heard?
Well, the EFF have done very well for themselves in terms of posing a threat to the hegemony of the ANC. One of those days of one-party dominance, the EFF in the main appeals to the youth that is despondent, the youth that is unemployed, the youth that is bearing the brunt of poverty and so on. I think they've caused a major shake-up in the body politic, and they need to be applauded for a good job, well done. And I can bet my bottom dollar, even next year, they are going to do well in terms of shrinking the support of the ANC.
And is that, as analysts, you managed to pin down their constituency, their base? Is that their base? And if so, how loyal are they?
The EFF is a Marxist and Leninist organization. So it is using a class analysis. I understand that they have a cluster of ideologies, like they are a Fanonian organization, meaning that they are a black consciousness organization. Also, they subscribe to Pan-Africanism. That's why Malema spoke about the liberation of African people home and the diaspora. But their base in the main is the black working class, in particular the youth. Even the EFF itself is led by young people. So I'll say that the base of the EFF is basically the youth.
Look, the party is growing, as evident in the 2019 elections. Its parliamentary caucus is bigger. How would you judge that growth?
Look, every time an election is held, we see a signal of growth. For instance, as you pointed out earlier on in the background, that when the first election was held that they participated in, namely in 2012, I think they got 6%. And then in the second election at local government level, they got more than that. And also they got more than what they got in 2019. So you can see that they have been moving from strength to strength, and that's why I predicted that even next year, come local government elections, I think they're going to do well. But what is interesting is that the ideological proximity of the EFF is closer to that of the ANC. So I suspect that maybe they are going to be the king makers in terms of some of the municipalities, in particular in urban centers.
Doctor, just before I let you go, I want to get a sense of your assessment, of the EFF's assessment of the COVID-19 situation in South Africa. Mr. Malema hitting out at the president in terms of the handling of COVID in South Africa, also hitting out against Professor Salim Abdul Karim, who is the chair of the ministerial committee here in South Africa, saying that the hospitals here is virtually collapsed in South Africa. What's your take with regards to the EFF's assessment of COVID in South Africa?
Politics is a game of elimination. It's either you get eliminated or you eliminate others. It's either you get outmaneuvered or you outmaneuver others. So EFF is basically having aspirations of outmaneuvering the ANC, getting rid of them from the helm of power. So that's why they're taking a strike at the government in question. I agree with him that I do get the sense that the scientific community is shooting in the dark with regard to COVID-19. They don't seem to be having enough information in terms of the description of the way things are. For instance, we heard that the duration for quarantine is 14 days. All of a sudden now it's 10 days. Based on what? So I think you were talking about those things. But one, just to be fair and square to the president, one cannot only take a swipe at the president. I think the entire scientific committee, they must confirm that they don't have enough information. They're just shooting in the dark.
Dr Ntsikelelo Breakfast, we thank you very much indeed. We got to go, but we appreciate your perspective. Be well.
You're welcome, sir.